Frequently in the Urantia book, people who have embraced the kingdom of heaven are referred to as liberated. They are made free by the acceptance of God's will. How can that be? How can we be made free by replacing our own wills with God's? We have this funny little habit as a people to place laws within our religions. And keep in mind, I'm not commenting on laws created by secular governments. I'm talking about laws within religious books in which it is believed that God has decreed those laws and they are infallible. The Urantia book states, "By the old way you seek to suppress, obey, and conform to the rules of living. By the new way you are first transformed by the Spirit of truth, and thereby strengthened in your inner soul by the constant spiritual renewing of your mind. And so are you endowed with the power of the certain and joyous performance of the gracious, acceptable, and perfect will of God." So you transform your mind, and then you can embark upon the joyous performance of the will of God. We become liberated when we turn our attention toward the divine parent and function in a way that is harmonious with the universe of God's creation. Still, in our society, we are so often sandwiched between old ways and new ways, trying to apply old religious laws to new methods of living. And remember, there are often very practical reasons for these laws. They weren't created just to give people hoops to jump through, but to address some sort of actual social ill. I was listening to a podcast called Muslim Central. It's a great resource if you want to get a feel for Islam in America. The speaker described a section in the Quran that singled out men as having a particular responsibility for providing for their families financially. He pointed out that women can contribute money to the family if they choose to, but it is the man's duty to ensure that this need is met. This makes a lot of sense for a time before birth control, when a woman would enter into marriage thinking that she might very well have to birth and nurse a half-dozen children. And this rule is, at its heart, a compassionate demand for a culture that severely limited the ability of women to function within a wide social or economic sphere. But when religions establish social rules like this, set them in stone, and attribute them to God, then that religion loses its flexibility for changing times and cultures, and it becomes unable to advance. Jesus was not a rule maker. Jesus encouraged basic advancements like love your neighbor as yourself or equal treatment of women. But he never attempted to establish a strict social structure, knowing full well that the social norms of today will not be the social norms of tomorrow. This is where we get to the part about freedom. It's the part about embracing relationships with God and with people, and embarking on that gradual transformation into someone who can move through the changing world with grace. To be transformed, you must have faith, you must have patience. You must spend time with God, you must have yet more patience. You must have desire, and you must still have patience. But this slow-burning transformation is the one that will grant you the ability to meet each new life situation in confident partnership with the divine parent.